This is one of the most popular smartwatches available on Flipkart. It has 1.6 lakh reviews, amounting up to 4.5 star. So I bought one to find out if it is the best budget smartwatch you can buy in 2024. For starters, it has a 1.83-inch curved 2.5D display. It supports fast charging such that 1 minute of charge will last you a day, and it comes with 7 days of battery life, along with 100 of sports modes, 200 plus watch faces, and a lot of really accurate health monitoring features. But before we continue any further, let me show you the unboxing first. The first thing that you're probably going to notice is the display. It doesn't have that cheap feeling in it, which I was expecting from the price point. It is sharp, it has high contrast, and the screen does not separately pop out with that faded black when you get in those cheap smartwatches. Sure, it is definitely not perfect like flagship smartwatches. There are some caveats which I'm going to talk in a later section, but the in-hand feel is pretty good. It is so very lightweight but looks quite premium with this metallic luster as a texture. The wristband also feels quite soft and of nice quality, flexible enough. Initially, you need to do some setup with the Fastrack app, and you can directly download the app by scanning the QR code at first boot. The setup is pretty easy, and they also ask for the little details to get a better understanding of you, like your height, birthday to calculate your accurate age, your weight, and more. They also let you get started with different goals, be it related to getting enough sleep, multi-sport goals, or something else. You can also link it with Google Fit. Some minimal permissions are required, and that's all. Done. All good to go. Okay, the display, like I mentioned, is pretty decent and responsive. Look how smooth it feels when I swipe among different pages. I expected that laggy interface for a smartwatch priced so cheap, but that isn't the case. But it isn't super perfect at the same time. It does get a lot of mistouches, which I don't know if is because of me or just a bad screen. The screen is quite bright too, gets the job done pretty well since it is very visible outdoors. And this smartwatch comes with a ton of features, hundreds of sport modes, Bluetooth calling, games, and even lets you convert your smartwatch to a Bluetooth speaker. We're going to explore each and every one of them, but before that, let us just stick to the hardware experiences. Okay, it also has surprisingly good speakers. Of course, it is not meant to replace your Bluetooth speaker, but I was surprised to find the speaker quality so good on this smartwatch. I mean, it doesn't have that cheap sound. It sounds even better than my monitor speaker. This definitely isn't a music player, but it allows you to connect your phone and play music through the smartwatch. Anyway, let me just show you the audio quality. I'm just going to play a video from my other channel. If you are a Linux fan, just go and subscribe to it. I'll make really high quality Linux videos over there. So this contains my voice. Let us see how it works. This is KD Plasma 6, and there are some major changes and some hints where Plasma might be in the near future. Starting with some core level changes, we have Qt 6. This is the first version of KD with the Qt 6 framework used by KD, and while on the surface you might not notice much of a difference, having a more modern version is always better in the case of features. So like I was saying, it does not have that cheap feeling in it, where most of the low frequency sounds are all cut off. This one, on the other hand, kind of maintains the frequencies quite well. Next is the microphone. I'm not a big fan of answering calls over smartwatches because people can literally hear the conversation, but I did the mic test anyway. It is decent. On the receiver's end, it is hard to figure out whether I'm using the phone or the smartwatch, which I think is good. It also comes with this raise to wake feature, so I can just glance to see the time. And it's really good in conserving the battery because it's not always on, and at the same time it helps you see the time quickly, just like you would do on a traditional watch. Okay, talking about the battery, I think 7 days of battery life, like mentioned on their site, is a bit of an exaggeration because as of now, it's at 83%, and I charged it to 100% yesterday evening at around 7 to 8 p.m. So definitely I don't think it would be lasting 7 days, but if it lasts, well and good. As per my experience with the battery life, it is pretty decent. It also supports fast charging, and they claim 10 minutes of charge will give you 1 day of battery backup. But in my experience yesterday while I was charging it, it was pretty quick. It was at 80%, and in around a few minutes I saw it reach 100%. So yeah, the fast charging is noticeable. And it also comes with a lot of features inside the user interface. You get more than 110 plus sports mode, and you can configure them accordingly from within the watch. I tried some of them and they are pretty accurate and curated specifically for small things, like inside the multi-sport option, you will be able to go for outdoor run, outdoor walk, then outdoor cycling, and you also get all those general health monitoring features like sleep monitor, heart rate, blood oxygen level, stress level, and more. Let us do a test of the heart rate, because I currently have this, which is the Omron heart rate detector, what you would call the pressure monitor. Let us do a little bit of testing and find out if it is actually accurate or not. I'm just sitting here for the past few hours making videos, so I'll just go for the heart rate. Currently it is showing 114 by 68. The BPM is getting counted right now. Okay, let's do a test with this also, so that we can confirm if it is accurate enough or not. Okay, it just finished at 87 and 114 by 68. So let's find out from Omron also. Here it is, and here I have attached it. Let us start and check it out. Okay, here we have the results. Currently my heart rate. So this is the rate that is getting shown on the monitor. Is still 114 by 68. So it gives you a bit of an idea, but it's not completely accurate, of course. So you cannot be using it for getting medical results. I don't know how accurate this thing is, because it is quite old and might be the quality has deteriorated, and also it's probably out of battery right now. But like you, before buying something, I have done my research and review. Oh, it has increased. Right now it is 131 by 68. Since I'm talking, I guess. So yeah, I think it is pretty close to accurate. It also comes with a stress monitor, so let us also check that out. And here we have stress. Currently it is showing 70 medium. It does take some time in order to refresh and get the stress results, because I think it gets a lot of those data from you, like the heart rate, the oxygen level, in order to get the stress levels. I don't know how it works, but this feature is there. It is still trying to get the results. Let us wait. Okay, right now the stress level is 51, which is medium according to them. Okay, now let's check for the blood oxygen level. It's 99%, 97, 98. Okay, it's still counting. Okay, we have 97% SpO2 level. Okay, so health monitoring features are there, but also we get some other features too. You can directly check the weather from here, you can control your music, take pictures using the camera, and it doesn't work with the system camera. In my experience, the pictures turned out to be really bad, full of noise, since it is not really optimized for the phone camera. There's also a breathing exercise app to relax and focus on breathing. You also have this weather app, alarm, stopwatch, timer, find my phone. Find my phone is really helpful. There is also a settings page too, where you get all the watch faces, screen time. Actually, you get around 200 plus watch faces. You won't be getting all of them inside the smartwatch. A few of them are there, I think 4, and I got one from the web, from the app. So if you want to get all the 200 plus watch faces, you have to do it from the app. And in my experience, there are a lot of design available online. There is also sound settings which you can change. Ring, you can turn on the call ringtone over here. I don't find it useful, so it is turned off. It's actually off by default. There's also other phone settings, like you can turn on phone, BT call, and the media audio. Like I showed you previously, you can play the media that is on your phone using the smartwatch. I don't really know how it is useful, but yeah, this feature is there.
And one interesting thing is, surprisingly, this even comes with games. Well, surprising would be a bit of an overkill, but yeah, some decent entertainment if you're extremely bored. There's the addictive 2048, where you need to move around the numbers in order to get 2048 as the sum. You probably have played it before, you know the drill. But what's interesting as well as funny is the racing game. Well, it starts fine, but then you realize due to lack of motion blur, the road almost becomes stationary or appears to be moving slowly, and there's no limit to the maximum speed that you can reach. I can't even remember reaching 600 plus in the speed meter. Not sure what the unit is though. There are other games too. Here is the list if you're curious. The smartwatch also comes absolutely packed with a ton of tools, and these are pretty handy. Instead of pulling out the smartphone, I can directly start a timer or a stopwatch from here. Although you have to consider what's more unpleasant, to fetch your phone from the pocket or use the small screen with a lot of missed touches.
Okay, that brings us to the final question. Should you be buying it? Well, it will definitely solve your purpose. You will get a smartwatch, you will get a lot of sport modes, and even the phone's app user interface is great. But one major problem that I have seen in most of the cheap smartwatches is the user interface is kind of weird. I don't know if it is about the software, the hardware, or something else, but it just is not smooth, and it sometimes causes a lot of problems.
Scrolling sometimes won't scroll and random apps would open up. Even the speed of the scroll is inconsistent. Sometimes it speeds up considerably, such that you completely miss the option which you intended to click on initially, while sometimes it won't scroll at all and trigger something else. Tapping also doesn't work properly, and you will have to tap multiple times in order to trigger a method. And the list continues. I mean, if it is not fast enough or easy to use, then it kills the usefulness of a smartwatch. But I can't really complain about these things, just sharing so that you know what you will be getting. If you minus the user experience part and just talk about the health monitoring features, well, there are plenty of options for the price. Very well optimized and curated.
Okay, so that is all for today. Thank you so much for watching. Do like, share and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.